everybody. Today's April Fool's Day, and I only had one person catch me in an April Fool's. There's a guy that works here that was looking out the back window, and we have like a little patio section out back there that is sort of secluded by some trees, and we were working on an application, and he's like, oh my gosh, there's a deer right out back, and lo and behold, silly me fell for it. But it's only because I had deer in my backyard Sunday. I didn't see them, my son saw them, and the only way they can get in my backyard is to jump our 4-foot privacy fence. So I don't know how that happened or why they would want to be in my backyard with my dogs, but I thought that was pretty interesting, and I blame that for my gullibility for falling for his little April Fool's joke that was totally harmless. But the reason I kind of wanted to say something today is I found out some sad news yesterday. I found out that Mrs. Dobbs, my next door neighbor from when I was a child up until about 4 years ago when we moved to Wisconsin, passed away. And I'm not sure when, but I've known her since I was born. And with me buying the house that I grew up in from my parents, she was my neighbor for years and years as my children were growing up. And when we moved out here to Wisconsin, the first trip I made back, I made a point of going by and visiting her. And when she came to the front door, she didn't look well and she didn't recognize me. But finally, once I said who I was, she invited me in, and I didn't see her husband. He was there. He's legally blind and totally relied on her for everything. But she told me that she had just gotten through a bout with colon cancer, and had been through radiation and chemotherapy, and she didn't look good, but she sounded good. And once she recognized me, we had a nice conversation, reminisced on some things. Then the last time we went out there, we didn't have a chance to go by and see her. The time before that, or after that, we didn't have a chance to go see her. That's when my son was coming home from the military, and we didn't get by there. So an old friend of mine, Miriam, who can't get on YouTube because they block her at work, no YouTube for you, called me yesterday, and we were just sort of chit-chatting, and I found out through the grapevine there's another fella that works there that lives nearby, told me that Mrs. Dobbs passed away, and Mr. Dobbs followed shortly after. And it was sad because they had no children, they had no family, it was just them, the two of them, and I'm not sure who was responsible for taking care of their estate, but we never knew. So now I have to call my mom and dad and let them know, and that's going to be really sad. But anyway, I guess it just kind of made me think, don't take advantage, and stay in contact with the people that are dear to you, even if they're too far away, and just appreciate those that are around you and those that impacted your lives, both now and even when you were small. So that's it. Gotta go pay car insurance, and that's no April Fool's. I wish it was. So I have to trek home. Y'all have a good night. God bless. Gone is gone.